wash away. We were young. We were young. We were young. Touch never be on reach. Hands such a fragile thing. We could stay like this and wash away. Touch never be on reach. Hands such a fragile thing. We could stay like this and wash away. Touch never be on reach. Hands such a fragile thing. We could stay like this and wash away. We touch never be on reach. Hands such a fragile thing. We could stay like this and wash away. We touch never be.
Good afternoon, everybody. So, a little change of plans, just slightly. Going to be doing some coding, as I do. But I want to take a little break today from co-streaming because my mind just isn't really in it right now. And I wanted to finish up, or at least progress further in what I had started last night with the highlighting new streamers. I may not completely finish it, but I at least want to get to a point where it's very nearly there, if I can. And or at least I want to get further along in it. Let's put it that way. And then I want to start looking at integrating with Tenor to do the reaction gifs and stuff in chat. So I kind of want to that's kind of my plan. Is I do want to start. I want to get some progress into Tenor. So I might like move along with the highlight new streamers to a certain point until it gets like maybe a little bit. I don't know, until I get a little bit of resistance, and then I'll switch gears. I just want to get more progress on both of them, so we can get them moving along. Hope everyone's been having a good weekend so far, and a good week and all that stuff. I hope everyone's doing well. I am in the process of trying to figure out. So I a couple minutes ago ran out of food and died in combat. And now I'm trying to like up myself here as far as Melvor Idol is concerned. Where is the there we go, fanfish? Yeah, let's get boost that as much as I can. It's the weird thing about the fishing is like, you'll make sure you're fishing something that you can cook, and that also gives you, when you cook it, it gives you a lot of hit points. And honestly, the fanfish does 140, and the crab does 150. That's all right. Anyway, I got a little bit of Melvor Idol here and there too, just because. Why not? And 5% fish, and not as much junk. That's good. Do I have anything? Let me sell all but one of these. And we're filling up with junk a little bit, but is there anything? Equipment set. Skill upgrades. Level 60 for that rod. Which where are we at now? We're at 58. Okay, we're almost there. That's good. Alright, anyway, friends, I'll let this do its thing in the background here. Whilst I look at some actual code. Let's see. Are we yeah, it's down 15% volume, okay. Oh, a little bit tired. Wasn't planning on that whole marathon session last night. But I was very happy at how far we got and everything. So that was good. Let me check on our pull requests and things, make sure everything's still green. It is. That's good. All right. Make sure I don't need to remerge something or anything, because I will have to at some point. But not right now. And where am I looking at the thing at here? Here we go. Cool. So we got the checkbox on the page, and then I was working on the job that will run, and it's been giving me problems with these subqueries. Because apparently I'm just not doing subqueries correctly. This is the best I can figure here. See, where else do we do these somewhere here? Subquery. We do it here. ID in subquery 10-hour query. Basically what I'm doing. Oh, you know what? Okay, wait a minute. I have the group by and a having in the wrong order here. That's the first thing. And this should be fine as far as I can tell there. So let's see, let's get the test going. Where was that? That test. Here it is. No, not that one. This is new streamer flagger test. Here we go. Next test jobs. Let's do streamer flagger test. See what happens. Missing from clause entry for table. Oh. Yeah, I probably am for the fragment, right? From streams S. Ah. Okay. Grouping error. Aggregate functions are not allowed in where? Oh, let's probably complain about this here. Well, it'll be okay. So yeah, fine. I'm okay with that because it's really all I really want is one record back. So I'm gonna say where min s dot started at. Right. I want that to be part of it, and the sum is that. All right. I think that's what it's complaining about. Let's see. Any functions are not allowed in where. It's still not happy about that. Min started at. That's interesting, because that should be okay. This gray people min where clause. Minimum value in a set. The name of the column is the min function. Data type of the column can be a number, string, or any complex. Oh, it wants the. What in this? What? No. Oh, I guess it's gotta be in the select clause, huh? You have to do a sub-select to do it. I imagine, can you do it in the having as well? Group by clause. Yeah. The groups with minimum values. Okay. So I gotta do a sub-select to do that. So it would be where s.id equals fragment select s.id from streams s where I can't do that. It's gotta be in the select clause. Let's do min s that started at from streams s where s that started at is not null. At in It's a funky way of having to do it, but I guess it makes sense since it's an aggregate function. So if I do that, just should give me the minimum start at time. Then grab me the one that has that minimum start at time. Calculate the interval from that. Do that. Where? Oh, is it still the sum that doesn't like? Is that what I had over here? 10-hour query. Yeah, it was in the halving. Okay. By channel ID. Okay. Okay, so it's working now. A little ugly, but it does the job. It's not like it's a huge it's not like it's a terribly non-performant query or anything like that. Like, it's just looking for one particular thing. And even if it was, it only runs once an hour. So we're probably okay there. So then, this one here. Why wasn't this? This annoys me a little bit. Why can't I do naive daytime UTC now there? Seems to be working. Yeah, no, it's giving me this error. What is undefined or private? Do I have to bring in something to use this? What is this? Where is this defined that? I guess I need to truncate it to the second as well. That's a little angry about that when I do it that way. Yeah, it's just you saying it's undefined. So what do I have to bring in to make these defined? Where's this? Where does this come from? Elixir? It's just a basic type, yeah. So it should have access to it. Why don't I have access to it? Oh, what is this? Maybe that's what's going on. There's a bad alias in here? Was there other... This is the only place I've used that. Okay. So it must have accidentally, it must have like imported those or something. Or I must have imported those by accident. Okay, that explains why that was giving me an error. Or not giving me an error, but why that was just not happy. Okay, the test is working. Get some more tests going here. So, test will not flag streamers. Will flag streamers over 7 days old with less than 5 streams. Okay. So I think we take this. And we'll do it with the 6 days, we'll say 8 days. But they only have one stream. Actually, I'll do, you know, let's do create 2 stream. Stream. You know what I want to do? Let's go grab this. Stream, and then we'll say channel and number days ago. Replace this with number days ago and the channel there. There you go. Leave that. A great stream. Streamer.channel -6. All right, great stream. Streamer channel. Do one that was 8 days ago. Channel and one that is actually, let's do one that's 9 days ago and one that's 8 days ago. That's 2 streams then. And this this should be true. They're less than 5 streams. Leave that. Good. Say will not flag streamers over 7 days old with more than 5 streams. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll do 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And this should then be false. These new streamers should be false. Alright, and then that should come out correctly here. Good. Let's see what else with another permutation here. We'll clear. clear flag when streamers no longer qualify. So on the streamer fixture here, I would do, I think it's user and then channel. Yeah, user and then channel. So I would do nothing for the user, but for the channel, we would set is new streamer true. Right, and then leave all these in text, the 5 streams here. They're all greater than 7 days. So this should also be false. Yeah. They were a new streamer, and then yeah, so it should clear it out the false then. And it does. All right. What else? I guess make sure it works if there are no streams. So what will it do if it doesn't get any stream? It shouldn't set the flag at all. So I would say we'll not set flag when streamers have no streams. This, and we won't create any streams. And that should be good there. Right, that's correct. And then will not set flag when streamers have disabled their channel. So we'll say, yeah, we'll not set the flag if they disabled their channel, and then now it will be a, we'll just create one stream here. A stream that was a day ago, let's say, and yes, that should be false then. Oh wait, I did need this here. I need to set in accessible to true on their channel. That should stay false. Right. And then do the other part of that test, which is same thing, except it will clear flag when streamers have disabled their channel. So we have inaccessible true and is new streamer true. Alright. And that should be false then. There you go. 7 successful tests there. Okay, I think that exercises it fairly well. Can't think of anything else there. That's good. So that is the background job that would run. Which means that everything on the front end then only has to worry about whether that flag is set to true or not, which is really nice. So if we look at the I think, was it in the channel lookups here? No, I think it's where is that at? Hey, ZeroFX, welcome. Let's see. I want it to track it back down again. It's gonna be in. Where's the list? Here it is. Search live channel. There we go. My filter. So it would be calling apply filter. Hey, Psychotic, welcome. If we apply filter. Tags language. When is binary? Is list languages. Really, I just need to know when it's true. So just putting a where in there. Okay, I mean that's straightforward enough. So if I do apply filter query is new streamer I guess yeah, it'll just be percent is new streamer. I don't even need that parameter because I just need to know that it's true, right? So, oh, but I need it for the when clause, I think. So is new streamer when is I guess when is new streamer, because that'll tell me whether it's true or not. So when that's true, then add to the where clause. Query c dot is new streamer equals true. Okay, save that. Is new streamer. And I can apply filter. I mean, it'll be brilliant if that just works. Because that was probably going to be like the hardest part of it, was adding that filter to all the other filters. And if this just goes through, I will be happy camper. Okay, sure. Sure. Alright, let's try this as it is right here. Because nothing will have the flag set right now. Oh, actually, I gotta migrate, don't I? Mix, ecto, migrate. Okay, there we go. So nothing should have the flag right now. I think I default to false. Channels, query, describe the table. We've added is new streamer, it's a boolean, and it defaults to false. Cool. Okay. Start the server up. You know, I wasn't sure about this category, but now I'm digging it. I'm digging it a lot. Get your body moving. Do. I think we're up. So, what do we have here? Local hosts. Gaming. Alright, cool. Let's see what happens if I do this filter, then this should disappear, I'm thinking. So, do this. Oh, but you know what? I don't have it automatically, I don't have it kicking off the thing yet, so I gotta do that part. Channels. Yeah, I think they. I need to make it so that when you click on it, it will kick off the filter. So over here, sure they have a PHX click or something on these, right? Or a change or something. Where's the filters at? PHX click toggle filters. Oh, that's just to toggle the filters on or off. That's fine. But each of the filters should have something, right? PHX update ignore. I should probably put that on there too. Pre-fill tags. Select language. Wait, so when you select language, it doesn't... Yeah, it updated it. Where's the, form language... As custom select. There's no, click handler on this. But I definitely updated it. Hmm. So what is kicking that off? Oh, there's a PHX change on the form. Okay. Calling filter change. Does on change work for checkbox? For some reason, my brain is telling me that there's a checkboxes don't often work with the on change handlers because you have a hidden value behind the scenes. Usually with checkboxes, because browsers don't submit form elements that aren't valid, and an unchecked checkbox is not considered valid for some weird reason. So you always have a hidden field behind it that's set to false, that is actually getting the real value, whether it's false or true. What am I looking for? Change checkbox. See, they say you can use it for that. Okay. Do I have just the wrong value here for a checkbox? Oh, I called it filter new channels. Which I called something else over here, right? As key. Category list. What am I looking for? I'm looking for field language. AppKit params, language. I should probably add one here for other thing too. Refilled new users maps, params, is new streamer false. This is the default, right? Map key value. Map key is present mapped and its value, otherwise default, is returned. Oh, map key. Oh, yeah. Refilled. New streamers. To change one data language of n param. Is new streamer. Data is new streamer. Param, and then where else am I missing things? Param. Wait, where's my filter tags? Where was the filter? Oh, it was was it in here, was it? Oh yeah, it is. Search live channels, apply filter. Is new streamer. Yeah, that's where I did it. So new streamers is new streamer. Alright, so then down here it should be is new streamer. New streamer. Value refilled new streamer. Refilled new streamer, that's what I called it, right? New streamers. Plural. Okay. In here. There we go. Is new streamer is true. Language English. Any language. New streamer false. Didn't filter though. Is new streamer. At least it's going to the back end. Oh, I forgot to add it to the has filters, right? Or map As key is new streamer. That's probably why. Well, that's really just to say whether to show the filters. So that's probably not that great. Remove the filters. Add the filter. Alright, so something else is not kicking off. AKA the actual filtering is not kicking off. Friends. There's live channels. This new streamer. His new streamer. So apply filter is new streamer params. I guess I could just is new streamer. That's because that wasn't exactly correct the way I had it. Wait, see the channel? Yeah, no, it's definitely the channel. Okay. Apply filter. I guess I could put a thing here. IO put S. Hits. I can see that we actually got in here. Sure that actually worked. I think it's not actually calling that. The query that's running. The order by random. So this is where status is live and category ID is that group by, order by. Yeah, so it's not adding the filter there. It's not calling this apply filter. I guess I don't even need this WAN because it'll just be. Well, I kind of do. I should say when not is nil. Is new streamer think yeah, because you don't want it applying when you don't have it. I don't want it applying all the time, really. Boolean, but it's kind of a tri-state thing. If I remove the filters, then I should see everybody, regardless of whether they're a new stream or not. Oh, now it's working. Okay, good. So that was the problem. Is that my win was just bad. Okay. So if I uncheck this, that guy comes back. Cool. Very cool. Alright, that's working. The only thing is, it's going to be weird for people because when you uncheck this, you're going to see... You're not going to see any new streamers. Which I don't think is what people want. Hey, good morning, Ramirez. Welcome. Yeah, it's afternoon for me. Definitely. I wonder, because that's going to be the weird thing is that like when you uncheck that, what you're actually seeing is you're no longer seeing new people. You're only going to see you're only going to see veterans. Show only new channels. Now I don't think it's a wording thing. I think it's I think I just need to fix this so that it doesn't apply this if it's false. I think the more correct thing for me to do is to say when is new streamer hello Mytho, welcome. Equals true. What is there a, like it is true? I mean, I have a feeling that's not going to work, but I'm going to try it and see what happens here. So that's set to false. Yeah, it's not, it doesn't work that way. Yeah, go ahead, Ramirez. You can post links. Yep. Make unchecked include everybody. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Let's make uncheck include everybody. I think the way I had this, not is nil. His new streamer. I think that's fine, but then I'll only apply the query if his new streamer is true. I'll just do it this way. If his new streamer true, that else query. I'll just do it that way. Yeah, I think that'll work. That will work. Remove filters. Alright, turn this on. It's not working. Why? Oh, is it coming in as text? Is it coming in as this? Is that what's been tripping me up this whole time? What's going on here? Yeah, that's what it is. Oh god, that's terrible. Okay, so that was coming. That's why that wasn't working. Wow, alright, so I can just go back to and just say when is new streamer equals true. And I can just do this. Save that. Wording is definitely an issue too. Makes it sound like new streamers are not shown by default. Better off with just new streamers as the text. No, you're not late, Mr. T. Not late at all. Yeah, okay. Okay, I got you. I'll let me make that change here. Wait, this is unhappy. Why? Why is this unhappy? Okay, wait a minute. Does it not like that when clause? There's a key value pairs instruct category. Oh, it's really unhappy. It doesn't like this? What's going on here? All right, back the way it was. Just do it that way because it just works. Yeah, as Psychotic says, working on a filter to show, working on a filter and a tag to show new users on the platform. A tag, quote unquote. Is this suddenly having here? I assume that's going to just clear itself up. Where's the list at here? So just new streamers. Do that. What? How did I mess this other thing up? What did I do here that it's all unhappy? What? Wait a minute. Where's the... How do I compare this to what's out there? What's the account age for the tag to be applied? 7 days or 5 streams is the way I'm doing it. Any chance that category header could get a little touch up? Yeah, I do think the category header needs a good touch up here. Let me see if I can copy this. I don't know if I'm going to do it as part of this though, because I'm trying to keep it small. But I do agree with you that it needs a glam up. Oh, you mean, okay. I see what you're saying. Well, honestly, I like that. I like it. There's 2 things I really think we need to do on this page. One is I agree that we need to make the header a little more professional looking, like this. But the other thing is I think by default I want the filters to be hidden, and then just have a show filters button that then makes these drop down. So like everything will move up the page, and then if you say like a little bit, I guess it won't move up that much, but we can move this like filters up here, like remove filters and show filters up there, and then everything moves up, and then if you click show filters it'll just move them down to show the filters, and then that way we're not, you know, more stuff is above the fold, you know what I mean? Tailwind changes are looking pretty nice. Yeah, I saw a couple of them in the Discord. Bold color was just a Glimish blurple. I like the bolder looks, honestly, because we are a little bit sanitary right now. It would be nice to have like a little splash of color here and there. I think the only thing, I'm going to say something very unpopular, but the only thing I think holding us back is the light mode. I think we should just drop light mode altogether, and then we don't have to worry about what colors things are. You know what I mean? Because something like this looks good in dark mode, but I don't know what it's going to look like in light mode. It might be too bright, you know? Images are vectors are vector art representing each category. Yeah, probably. I like the reduced header where we don't have the categories up here. We just have browse, which is what Clone was showing off in the Discord. I like that because honestly, I think the thing we should do is like have pretty much have all that stuff go on, have all this stuff go under browse, and then it had like a little pop out where you could click which one you want it. And then following I think should come over here somewhere. I think the stream setup button needs a home. So I would put like following here where stream setup is. And stream setup just needs to find a home somewhere. I don't know where. Events, an app. I don't know where to put those. But what I'm really getting at is I think we need a search bar dead center here somewhere and make everything kind of move around that search bar, because I think honestly most people are just going to want to use the search bar to find stuff. And it should be like an omni search where we search not only live streams but users with a preference to users who are live, you know. I think the site is too dark. Well, I guess from a perspective of it could use a little more color, I agree with you. But from the perspective of like the backdrop, I think the backdrop is a good shade of dark, I think, because you don't want it to clash with the streams themselves. You really want the streams to be the most vibrant thing, you know what I mean? Because you want them to stand out a bunch, I think. But I do think we're gonna have to wrangle these tags and stuff like that. Yeah, like the category tag. I do still think I know Clone had them left side, but honestly, I would still move them down into here. Like next, like under, like make this 3 lines maybe, and put it in the middle there or something, or put it on the bottom or one of those things. You know, you like a slightly brighter blue. Yeah, we could do. Yeah, that might work. A brighter blue. I think though we're running into mixer territory then, right? Because their blue was a little bit brighter, right? They had 2 shades of blue. I don't remember what the hex color for their blue was, but I think they had 2 shades. They had like a lighter blue and a darker blue. I think we're kind of we're pushing the envelope there a little bit. You know what I mean? No, I like this though. I like the, you know, make things kind of stand out a little bit. And I think and I get what you're saying with like having an image here instead of the text. I would even go so far as to say just put some font awesome stuff here. Like there's controller images and stuff on Font Awesome, right? We could just use in the free version. just to kind of spruce it up a little bit for gaming, and then for art we can have like a palette or a paintbrush or something there. What am I looking for? Gaming 554 and 3. The Wizards of the Coast logo is free. Oh boy. I guess they don't really have a about controller. There you go, gamepad. That works. Yeah, something like that to spruce it up a little bit without going too crazy on it. I feel like. Yeah, what did I do that really messed this up? Key value pairs, instruct limit streams, category. Did I accidentally change something down here? Because it's complaining about the spec tag, which is telling me that it's the implementation of this is not matching the spec, which is interesting and weird. Where's this channel lookups? Where's this thing at? It's libglimish channel lookup. Channel lookups. Live filter. Oh yeah, count live channels doesn't have that at spec on it. Where the hell did that come from? Yeah, what is going on here? How did this get in there? The Visual Code trying to help me out here, doing stuff I don't want it to do. There we go. Weird. Weird. What do we got? So I am over here. Do you think it should just say new streamers then? Is that it? I have to mention Tailwind, just hoping that revamp shows up in the roadmap for beta phase. I don't know. How far or how fast Clone is going to work on that. Because I'm also introducing a whole bunch of CSS in with the co-streaming stuff. So my luck being what it is, we might end up clashing at the very end there. So I don't know. I don't know what's. I get the impression he's kind of playing around with it, but then again, sometimes Clone starts playing around with something, and then all of a sudden things change. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know what the time frame is for that. Does it use Bootstrap CSS? No, it uses regular CSS, but everything is absolute aligned because Bootstrap was preventing the window, was preventing the card from expanding. And so I ended up just having to just make everything absolute aligned because I couldn't make the window expand any further. So I don't know what's gonna happen when we put Tailwind in there, if it's gonna still look correct, because I know one of the things that Clone did was to make that page more responsive, so it actually expands out ultra wide without having to do JavaScript to trigger it and all that stuff. So I don't know how what will end up happening is all my stuff will end up taking up far less space than it should, and I'll have to revisit all the sizes of things in order to make them bigger so that they can actually, expand to the window properly, that kind of thing. So we'll see. I don't know. I haven't used Tailwind before. I've been looking over the documentation. It looks straightforward enough. About as straightforward as dumping a box of crayons into a blender, I guess. But it's, it's manageable. I like the look of it. I like the clean look of it. I don't necessarily agree with the purpose behind it, I guess. But I do like the clean look that it provides. And yeah, it is nice to not fight with Bootstrap constantly, trying to get it to give you more space here and there all the time. Yeah, I get that. I get that it only uses the default CSS and only compiles what you actually use. The problem is that they I feel like went really far onto that side of things, where it's like, you want this thing to look good, put 25 classes on it. You know what I mean? But exactly, it takes your messy CSS and turns it into messy HTML. Exactly, that's what it feels like. Like, hey, you want this thing to look good? Great, throw these 25 classes on. It's like, okay. Sure, I guess. And then they push templates a lot, which, as I was saying last night, with templates, I don't have a beef with templates per se. I mean, having things spread out over 35 files can get kind of weird and awkward, but if you do it right, it's fine. The only beef I have with templates is Phoenix sort of, in my mind, encourages bad practice with them, where a lot of stuff, like, you have these, you have a lot of HTML. The Phoenix sort of encourages you to put HTML inside the Elixir code instead of as a separate thing. Now, it doesn't stop you from making it as a separate page, but it also kind of encourages you to do it the other way whenever you look at, whenever you look up tutorials and stuff. And I feel like the combination of those two things are going to push people to put more HTML, bury more of it inside these live view components instead of having it in separate HTML files where it'll be easier to see and easier to find and all that stuff. I'm trying to find a example here. Where was it at? There was a decent example I had at one point. I mean, you got stuff like this, which I don't like at all. Right? I feel like this is just bad practice. I get why it's here, but I feel like it's bad practice. And then you've got, where's the, was it, channel title? But this one that had some of it in there. You got some rendering stuff in here. Then there's a follow button. Yeah, then you got stuff like this, which is just like, here's a follow button, and all the HTML is inside here, rather than in a separate file, like a template file. You know what I mean? Is there a small delay between clicking the support button and getting the window to pop up? There probably is. There probably is, because it's got to load up. It's got to do a round trip to load up the contents of the modal. Yeah. There's a lot on there that has to populate too. Like the Angular way, separate files. The longer I do this stuff, the more I prefer the separate files as well. Just because in a normal course of business, you have a UI UX person who that's all they do, and it's much easier for them if everything that they care about is in separate files from, you know, the actual code. Because sure, there's like code markup in those files, but it's not, you know, they can work around that. They can mock out things, and then a back-end developer can come by and fill in the blanks and stuff. If they don't want to fill in the blanks themselves. But when you start mixing your peanut butter and your chocolate, it starts to get really messy. So no one's going to give Glimish a whole new look if Clone wants to switch to it. Oh yeah, no. I like the cleaner look of Tailwind. I really do. And to an extent, I agree with their reasoning, where Bootstrap does bring a lot of baggage along with it. Like, you do a card, and it's got tons of CSS that come along with that card. And the idea behind it was that you want a consistent look throughout your site. And that's why it brings all that baggage with it. So a card is a card is a card, no matter what page you put it on. The problem is, in practice, a lot of times you need to tweak those things because you need to fit a little more data on the page, or you want it to look a little bit different here and a little bit different there. And so you end up you bring these cards in, and then you end up undoing a lot of the stuff that the card does just to kind of make it do what you want, just to kind of get a little more space there, or to make it just a little offset, you know? So I get where Tailwind's coming from, where it's like, why do that when you could just do this? But I also think that they went way too far in the opposite direction. Like, the pendulum swung from one extreme all the way to the other extreme, you know? Bootstrap gives a flat look. Tailwind makes it pop. Yes, to an extent. I think Bootstrap was... So, I mean, Bootstrap was developed by Twitter, right? And Bootstrap, the idea was that you have a lot of elbow room, right? You have a lot of gutters and a lot of empty space, and it's like supposed to be clean, almost sterile. And that worked for a while, and then, you know, we're kind of swinging back to the notion of, you know, it would be nice to have like a splash of color here, and maybe we don't need all this, you know, empty space and all these, you know, all this elbow room. Maybe we can make use of more of this real estate. And also, you know, bear in mind too, when Bootstrap was first developed, most people didn't have widescreen monitors. You know, you had maybe 720p monitors, if that, you know, and then 1080p started to come along. So a lot of that empty space that we see now was not even visible when that first came out. It was just, you know, everything kind of just flowed based on smaller screen sizes. Now we're in a realm of like, we got room to maneuver. We got room to put more data on the screen. People don't want to scroll 5,000 miles anymore. Thank God we've gotten rid of the infinite scroll stuff for the most part. I mean, we only have infinite scroll where it actually makes sense to have infinite scroll now. Thank goodness, because that was a fad that needed to die fast, and it didn't quite die fast enough, I feel like. But yeah, you know, stuff like that. Yeah. Proper UI UX person in charge of that would benefit. I agree. The editor experience has autocomplete for everything, very fast dev time. Yeah, I was looking at that. Tailwind has like has a VC code extension. VC code, VS Visual Studio Code extension to help with a lot of the like autocomplete. It's got IntelliSense and all that stuff, which is really good. I mean, that's all good stuff. I wish Bootstrap had put that much effort into their stuff. But then again, as I was complaining about last night, Bootstrap would never be able to maintain an IntelliSense thing because they change crap for the sake of changing it. Like I was railing the other day that they changed float right and float left to float start and float end. Like why? What was the need to do that? There was no need to do that. They just changed. Sometimes I swear they just change stuff just for the sake of changing. Like, give us a break here. You know what I mean? We're going to break your site just because we feel like breaking your site. It's like, come on, guys. Like, give us all a break here. You know? So I do like that part of it because, you know, a team that's confident enough that they're not going to change stuff so much that they need to keep messing with IntelliSense is a good thing, I feel like. You know? So just to force people to update to the latest. Well, that's what kills me too, Psychotic, is that we had a pen test come back a couple months ago. We hire a penetration testing company that they'll do every couple months. They'll check our security and everything. And they came back and they said, you're using Bootstrap 4.0 and it's got these security problems with it. And so, you know, my boss, you know, gathers all the devs up and he's like, so we got this back. It wasn't a high priority. It was like a medium or something. You know, they're complaining that we're using an old version of Bootstrap. What would it take to go to a newer version? And I'm like, and I look at the change logs. I think at the time it was like from 4.0 to like 4.2 or something. And I think they're at 5 now or some craziness. Or it's in beta or whatever. And it was like they just changed so much crap for the sake of changing crap. And I'm like, we're going to have to completely redo all, like we're going to have to go through every, I think we have like something like 60, 70 pages or something like that of stuff We're going to have QA go through and make sure everything's still aligned properly. We're going to have to go through ourselves and make sure that, all the classes are correct. Just because Bootstrap likes to F with people and just change things for no good reason, right? Just to do that. And it was just, it just frustrates me sometimes, because I use it all the time, and I like Bootstrap for what it does, but it's also long in the tooth, and the governance of that project is frustrating, where they just change stuff for the sake of changing stuff, so hey Clone, welcome. I know Clone lurks sometimes. That's why I don't speak ill of Clone, because I know sometimes he'll lurk. Not that I would speak ill of Clone anyway, but I'm just saying. What's that? Going back and refactoring all the 2-year-old cruft would accumulate it. No, I agree. I like... I've never used Tailwind Clone, but I like the look and feel of it. I'm just old and crotchety. And sometimes I see the pendulum swing from one extreme to the other, and I'm like, ugh. Ugh. Like, all right, we went from these really heavy classes to now we gotta throw like 25 classes on a div. But I do like it in general. I do like the approach to it. So it's just I have to learn it, and I'm fine with that. I don't mind learning stuff. Wants to hear negative feedback. I guess I do occasionally have some negative feedback, but honestly, most of my feedback is just old man yells at cloud feedback, I have a Glimish button component with tooltip support. Useful Glimish component. Yeah, no, I agree. I think I have to see. I have to see more of it, honestly. As I was saying earlier, I don't know if you heard it or not. You probably did, but I don't disagree with the Tailwind approach of like have a template and reuse a template. I just worry that when you combine that with how Phoenix does things, it can lead to some bad practices where we're throwing a bunch of HTML inside Elixir like this, which is one of the things I don't particularly like. I'd rather we keep those in different files so that they're easier to track. So if we do need to make large changes across the platform, we know that the HTML is in HTML files, kind of thing. But I mean, there are cases like this where it's like so tiny that it's, but then again, if you're going around and you're changing all the badges, and then you find out, oh, the live badge is stuck in here and you didn't change it because you didn't see it, it can get a little frustrating. You know what I mean? So, Super is bad, and well, yeah. Keep your, that's a best practice now. Keep your component close to your. I mean, it flip flops every couple of years, right? It's like it used to be. Like if you permit me a moment to go into Java land, it used to be put all of your configuration in XML. That was the best practice, and now put all your configuration back in Java, and in a couple years time, it'll be, put all your configuration in YAML. And a couple years time, it'll be, put all your configuration in JSON. It's like nobody can ever can ever agree on what should be a best practice. It's always what is good today or what is good tomorrow. From my perspective, it's always been, if you have a UI or UX person, you want all of that UI UX code to be somewhere where they know to look for it. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't expect a UI UX person to be looking through the Elixir code to find stuff like this, right? That's kind of where I come from. But I know that we're not really in that situation, so that's why I'm not complaining per se. I'm more like, it is what it is right now. But that's kind of where I feel like the separation of duties comes in, because that makes their life easier, because they can just kind of load that stuff up and do their thing. But, it is what it is. You haven't ever worked with a UI UX person who touched code but wasn't comfortable enough to navigate around the file? I have. But no, I get you. I understand where you're coming from. But I have worked with a UI guy who, he knew CSS like a mofo. He knew HTML. He knew JavaScript to an extent. And we were doing Ruby at the time. What he would do is he would, like, when a new feature was being made, he would mock out the page with as much HTML and JavaScript as he could do, and then one of us would have to come through and put the actual Ruby code on the page. You know what I mean? The Ruby markup. So I've been there. I don't know how prevalent that kind of thing is. It's probably not very prevalent, but it is something that I've seen, and that's kind of where I'm coming from when it comes to that, But I mean, we're open source, and who knows? Someone who's willing to come in and do an open source project probably wears a lot of different hats anyway. So it's probably not something that would be a huge deal for them, I figure. What am I looking for? Oh, I am so I mean, general question, everyone watching, is new streamers enough? Is that enough explanation here? Or should I expound a little bit on that? Because I'm fine with just leaving this saying new streamers and just, doing its thing. You think so? Okay. That's fine. I have no real horse in that race. I'm fine with that. If it makes sense to everybody, then I am cool with that. So the only thing we gotta do now, I got the job wired up. And I got the filter wired up. So I need to put the tag down here that I want, which shouldn't be too bad. Show new streamers only. Show new streamers only. Okay. Let's do that. Where's the page at? Yeah. New streamers only. I get into a pattern where I end up capitalizing all the words, and I'm trying to not do that because I feel like that looks bad, but you guys let me know. The show new streamers only, that's fine. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about doing a toggle. I don't even know, like, this is using a class that we use somewhere, and I don't even know. Oh, see, I like this one better. What class is this using? What class is this using? Custom control input. Wait, isn't that what I put on there, though? Custom control. That's what I put on there. Why does my checkbox look so terrible? Compared to this one. Oh, there's another input type checkbox, box sizing, border box. There's another class here. Input type radio, input type checkbox. I wonder why that's... Shouldn't that be applying to mine too? Yeah, it is. Why does mine look so terrible? Whatever. Let's make it a toggle. I agree, I like the toggles a little bit better. Let me see where the that at. Here. Oh, here we go. Custom switch. Custom control, custom switch. Got it. Not sure if the white separators are meant to be there at the sidebar. Oh, these? So, funny story. Those were always there, but the CSS had them off. Like there was a problem with the CSS, and I may have fixed it while I was in there, and I don't know if I was supposed to fix it. So like. I ended up fixing this when I did the hosting stuff, because it was like there was something wrong where the CSS wasn't applying correctly. So I may have done that. I don't know if it was correct or not, but I did it. So we can always fix that again or unfix it. Or whatever. Whatever we want to call it. Custom. If I do custom control switch. Do that. What would that look like? Let me put that back the way it was. No, okay, it's gonna be difficult. It wants me to put it on top here, I guess. Hosting. How did I do that? Custom control. The checkbox was custom control input, and then I did custom control, custom switch. Alright. That, and then over here. Control input. Okay, there we go. I just need to fix the padding. Actually, I might not even need any margin left at all here. Cool. All right. So then true, false, true, false. There we go. All right, that's working. Explicitly added HR and HTML. Well, I mean that's what I mean. Like there were HRs in the HTML, but they were all invisible. And I think it was something like the border was like really thin or something on them, like almost incomprehensible, like 0.001 or something. So I changed that because I figured it was, they wanted the HRs to be visible, the horizontal rules to be visible. So yeah. I heard that hosting and rating should be combined. I think as far as I guess the question is like, where did I go on settings here? And honestly, I would have a different settings page for rating, just because it's not you don't need quite as much information here. You're actually going to be different types of information. So for me, and that's one of the things I do want to get to, hopefully soon, is for rating, it's going to be like, can other people raid me? Yes, no. And then there will be a section here where you can block people from raiding you or unblock them. And probably, and then I got to figure out where to put the actual raid finder. I guess there would be a raid finder maybe on this page, but then probably on the streaming page, or maybe as a pop out from the chat or something. That's probably the harder part, is the raid finder. Like, how do you find, like, searching for people to raid? Like I need a place to put that button. And that's where the only place I can think of is is either on the on the stream page, the channel page, or maybe have it under this drop down, which I don't know if it would make any sense up on there. You know what I mean? All right, see you, Mytho. Have a good day. Only find active streams that are live. Well, it's a more deep than that. It's not only find streams that are live, but it's also find streams that have rating turned on and that haven't blocked you from rating them. And then probably you default to like the category that you're in, you know, but then you can raid someone from a different category too. You know, but probably by default, it would probably be like if you're in gaming, it would probably just bring back gaming, and then you would have to switch it to say, I want to see all categories or whatever, you know. So that's kind of my thought on that. And then there's the on the other side of it, well, then there's the, like, you kick off a raid, so then everyone who's sitting on the page will probably get some notification that a raid is about to happen. Do you want to join it? Yes or no? And if you don't say anything, you will join it, maybe, or maybe it defaults to no, who knows. And then you pull the users across to the next channel. I've gone back and forth in my own mind about whether or not the channel being raided should receive a prompt, say like, hey, do you want to accept this raid or not? And there's been a lot of debate on that, like, it's not a raid if people can block it, or if it's not, it loses the spirit of it if you do this or that. And I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence. I tend to lean more towards the give people more give the streamers more power. If they want to be prompted, then let them be prompted, but it also adds complexity to the feature, so I don't know. We'll see. They're just saying a lot of the tech from hosting could be reused to implement raids quickly. Kinda. I honestly... There's not... maybe a query or two could be reused, but honestly most of it would be new, because a raid is, because the host has to take into account, first of all, there's a job that runs which you wouldn't need for raiding, but second of all, there's the hosting has to take into account people landing on the stream page. Whereas the raid is just a point in time thing. So the raid is actually slightly less complicated because it's just going to happen to people who are on the page at the time the raid happens. But if someone comes in later, they don't automatically get redirected like they would on a host kind of thing. So it's actually a little less complicated in that regard. What's a little slightly more... I mean, it's less complicated on one side, and it's a little more on the other side. You know, I think overall the rating, like if I had done rating first, it would have taken me less time than hosting did, I think. Hosting has a few more moving parts to it at the end of the day, depending on like what kind of filters you put in for rating. But yeah. Yeah, it's I mean, it is what it is. Well, and Mr. T, it's not that things are out of context. It's that we're community built, right? So there's going to be a lot of ideas floated around. You know what I mean? There's a lot of open, as Psychotic says, there's a lot of open discussion. And really the only way to know if something is really taking place is to kind of follow Building Glimish, I feel like. And to see the threads on Building Glimish and see, like, you know, see the dev threads on Building Glimish. I think that's really the only way to know. And even then, there may be someone working on something and they're just, you know, you won't know that it's done until a pull request comes through, you know. I mean, that's kind of the nature of working on it in the open, is that it's open for everyone to contribute. So, you know, it's always good to, you know, what's said on there is not necessarily gospel, but it's more like an open brainstorm thing. And there was like a roadmap at one point, and I think I don't have anything against roadmaps. I just think that it's hard in our situation. It's hard to come up with a roadmap because you don't have you have all volunteers. You know what I mean? It's nice from the perspective of it gives everybody goals to shoot for, but it's also bad in the perspective that there's probably going to be things on there that no one really wants to deal with. You know, like, as much as I want to potentially help out with, you know, clips and stuff, I just don't have the know-how to do it. And so I probably have no business doing any of that back end stuff, because I'm more likely to not do it right than to do it right, you know? So for me, seeing something like that on the to-do list it's good on the one hand that, you know, we're talking about it and it's there, but on the other hand, it's also not really helping me per se, because I'm going to have to find something else where I can contribute. You know what I mean? The optics of rating have changed due to recent events. That may not even be something we want to add. Yeah. I don't know. It's a hard one, because for every person who says they want rating to be locked down, there's 5 people who want it to be open season, and everyone's got good points. And so it makes it hard to, like, navigate that, because everyone has really good, you know, reasons for the way they feel on it. I have never really subscribed to the notion of raids, because I feel like they are disruptive in a bad way. But there are plenty of streamers who thrive on that. They love that spontaneity, you know? And so I feel like we shouldn't spite them. I feel like we should also let them have their fun. You know, let them have their juice. I don't know what word to come up with. let them I was going to say let them have their cake, but it's you know, it's sort of, that's kind of a backhanded thing of saying. It's not that. It's more like let them let them experience the streaming the way they want to experience it, because it's not hurting necessarily anybody else. You know what I mean? Give them their fix. Yeah. Essentially, yeah. So that's kind of where I sit on it. I'm like, I personally, I don't like them because I don't like them to a certain extent. Like for me, I would like to be able to say like, I will accept raids, but not if they're greater than 50 people or something like that, right? So that way I don't get completely overwhelmed. But there's a lot of people who would say, well, turn raids off and don't ever do them. You know what I mean? That would be their answer to me, you know? And I'd be like, oh, okay, that's fair. You know, a fair point. You know, and the whole point is that it's a big celebration. I'm like, okay, that's fair. You know, there's good points on both sides of that. I don't like the disruption that it does, because especially if I'm like right now, I'm having a nice conversation, I feel like, with chat, and I'm looking over the chat and I'm seeing for comments, I'm, you know, looking for questions, those kinds of things. And if a raid came in and just started spamming stuff in chat, well, I'm going to get off track, right? Because I'm not going to be able to see the conversation I was just having in the middle of. It's going to scroll off the screen, and, you know, I'm going to be flummoxed a little bit because maybe it was something I really wanted to answer or something, and now it's impossible to find again, you know? So that's kind of where I come from with that, where I'm like, I'm like on the fence about the whole thing. But that said, I will gladly write the feature in a way that try to make as many people as possible satisfied with it that I can, you know. So I'm not opposed to it in that fashion. It might be one of those things where I write it and then I turn it off for myself. You know, it's just one of those things, right? This light on it. Dark so early now. There we go. How's my Melvor idol doing? Am I still fishing? I'm still fishing. My inventory full of crap? Almost. Got some treasure chests. A bunch of crap in them. Got some whales. Probably ironic. And where are these steel bars too? Enough food there. Okay. I could probably bury these bones. Get them out of my inventory. Good stuff. Let that continue fishing. How much? We have almost 2,000 panfish. Alright. Sweet. Back on. Let's force a save there. Sweet. People are going to love this, but I hate it. I mean, sometimes that's the way it goes sometimes, you know what I mean? What can I say? Let's get the tag on there. So where would I guess I put that on. Now here's the thing. This tag, it'd be nice if it showed here and on the home page and a few other places. Subcategory here. So I'll say if. Wait, that's the subcategory. No, I want the image, channel user, display name, channel language, sure content. Yeah, here we go. Say if channel is new streamer, badge error, new to blemish. Give that. This, it won't show up there, but if I go into the database, mem gaming test, what? I'll have to look it up. What user is mem gaming test? 45. User ID 45. That's gaming stream. Here we go. And actually, I got to do an edit here. 45. Is new streamer true? Got that and reload. Oh, got the wrong badge color? What happened here? Oh, it's badge danger. There we go. Alright, it says new to Glimish, because that's set. If I set this, it should stay on the page. He does. Good. Good. Where it was disappearing before. That's filters working. That's for the list page, but then I need to do something similar for the home page. Which shouldn't be too bad. Alright, we're rocking now. Get your leg warmers out. Oh, I should do it on... Well, the following page, should I do it on there? I guess it doesn't hurt to put it on there. Yeah, why not? Put it on the following page. Sure, content. Would just new be a sufficient pseudo tag based on the criteria they make? Based on the criteria they may only be new to streaming on Glimish. They may have been around for years. I could. How about what if I just said new streamer? I mean, I guess I could just put new. If that works too. Not as wordy. Alright, we'll just make it new. I was just afraid that people might not understand what new meant. Like, does it mean newly live? Does it mean... I guess, that's fine. How about noob? I was thinking of putting newbie. Or what do they call them? Sprouts on Final Fantasy 13? That was my original thought process, was I was going to make it an icon that was just the sprout icon. Like you get on Discord when you're new to the Discord. But everyone said they would rather have the tag. So recruits. I'll just leave it as new. That's fine. Less is more, probably. New title. Oh, language. Yeah, here we go. New streamer. Boom. That's on the following page. And the home page up. What is this? Get home page. Where's the home page controller at? Home page live. Oh, it's all in here? Okay. Oh yeah, it is all in here. Okay. Alright, that's fine. Live streaming. What is your profile? Join others live streaming. Content. Oh, here we go. Alright, so I gotta redo this, but that's fine. We'll say this is my first time using the whatever library this is, the Surface or whatever it's called. If pound random channel is new streamer. And then this is get text. New and if. Okay. Save that. Audio. You can install the VS Code plugin. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Clem. What plugin is that? Extensions. MSARAIVA. Perfect. Okay. Oh, that's much nicer. Thanks, Clone. Thank you. That is much nicer. Yeah. Yeah, this is my first time. I like the Surface stuff. I haven't been using the Surface stuff in co-streaming because there's still some components like the stream viewer and stuff that didn't look like they were converted over to Surface. So I was kind of just using the old style because of that. I didn't want to take on too much more than what I was doing, but yeah. people watching. Have family over. That's good. Okay, so I have that. So that's there. And then Songland's mustache. I did too. It is a glorious mustache. I tried only rocking a mustache myself, and I could not. Everybody kept saying I look like a cop. So I could not just do the mustache. I had to do the whole goatee. Improved Phoenix components. The need for surface is no longer big. The building components are mature enough for it. Oh, okay. Or a cop. Or a cop, yeah. No, that was my problem. I years ago, when I decided I wanted to grow either a beard or a mustache, I decided I was like, I'll just try the mustache first. I was worried about the beard being, itchy and stuff. And I'd rocked that for like 2 months maybe. And everybody was like, yeah, it looks okay, but you kind of look like a cop. It wasn't quite, adult stash, let's put it that way. But it kind of looked wrong. So that's why I let the goatee come out. So I was like, I don't want a full beard, because that just kind of would drive me nuts after a while. But the goatee seemed to work fine. Plus, I have it's patchy, my mustache. Like, it didn't come out. Like, my brother could get a really good full, stash going, and I couldn't. It was always a little little patches here and there. So it worked out better this way. I got tired of having a baby face, so I needed to let the hair growth take over a bit. That said, I don't let it grow too far. Like, I keep it trimmed. I don't want, I see a lot of YouTubers with the big, long mustaches, and I'm like, I don't really need that much. I just needed enough to not look like I was, 14 years old, You gotta go goatee or full Amish beard, too patchy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You want a full-on beard? Yeah. Now, I don't know. I kind of like the goatee better, because it just, for me, it's easy enough to just use the electric trimmer and just go up and down on either side and just get rid of the sideburns, and then the goatee, trim it maybe once every 2 weeks. Just use a number 3 on the beard trimmer, and just easy enough to keep it maintained once you've got it. I guess in many ways it's the lazy man's beard, right? Because I don't have to use product on it or anything like that. I can just kind of just keep it in check, and it's fine. The only issue is whenever I trim it, you start to see the gray hair coming out. That's the only downfall. So I think the homepage, following, list, I think those are the only spots. Yeah, I think those are probably the only spots. If there's another spot, then it'll be easy enough to add that back in. So that's good. So we have this. So awesome. All right. So I still have to write some tests. I got the tests written for the job, the hourly job. but otherwise I just have to write a few tests for the actual UI, or add to the tests that already exist for the UI, which shouldn't be too bad. And then this will be, I think, ready for a pull request in a couple days. So I have off the next couple days, so I'll be kind of filling in some of these things and getting them out there. So that'll be good. So I want to let's put this one to rest right now. And then I want to switch gears and look at the tenor stuff for reaction gifs in chat. So let's do that. Just taking a little break from the co-streaming stuff, just because my brain just wasn't ready to jump back into co-streaming right now. I'll jump back into it tomorrow, because I'm in, at the part where I'm doing the preview and stuff. But right now I just wanted to wrap up a few ends here, loose ends. And also I did some research into the tenor stuff, and I wanted to maybe get started on it so I can kind of come back to it on Fridays maybe. Yeah. So add Gifs and all that, Git status. Okay, Git commit UI and backend finished. Need tests. Git push. There you go. That's up to date, and that is pushed. This cannot be blank error could do away with a disappear action. I don't know. I assume that's on one of the. Is that on the chat or something? Cannot be blank. Yeah, I remember seeing that. I think it's persistent, isn't it? You probably. I imagine if you refresh, it'll probably go away. I want to say that I looked at it and I had a fix for it while I was looking at some of the chat stuff, but I don't remember offhand. I did get a request for some chat changes beyond the reaction gifs thing here, which is on building Glimish. So I have to look at that too. I'll probably look at that. Probably start looking at that next Friday, because it's a relatively small change. But it's it's one I think will be fine for most. Hoping one day to lend a hand with the mobile app. That's good. I hope you can lend a hand with the mobile app. Like I said, the only thing that's been keeping me from doing anything with the mobile app is that I can't test iOS stuff. So I would love to jump in there, because I've never done mobile stuff, and I would love to jump in there and help, but I refuse to own any Apple stuff, so I have no way of testing iOS things, so I don't want to break that side of the fence. and I think there's a way. I had looked at like cross-platform things like Flutter, and I know we're using Flutter, but there were other cross-platform things that there was one I was looking at that had a way that you could, if you paid money, you could deploy to their servers, and they had all the iOS stuff set up, and you could use their emulator. But like I said, it was like you had to pay money for it or something, and it wasn't. I don't think it was Flutter. I think it was a different framework that they supported. So it was one of those things. Like if I could easily emulate that environment without having to own the hardware and stuff, I would gladly jump on that. Well, yeah, the app uses Flutter, but what I'm getting at is the changes is the reason for using Flutter is that it does cross-platform stuff, and so, but I don't know how. Like I could do cross-platforms. I could do stuff and test it on Android, but I wouldn't be able to test it on iOS, and that's where I worry that I'll end up doing something that ends up working fine on Android, but not cross-compiling properly to iOS or whatever, which may not be even a legitimate fear, but it's still something like, you know, I don't know all the Apple like draconian processes around accepting updates to their apps in the App Store and all that stuff. So if something came down and it was like, your thing is doing this thing that we don't like, I'd be like, well, I don't know how to stop it from doing that because I can't test the thing that you're complaining about. You know what I mean? That's the only thing that's been keeping me on the sidelines with that. Otherwise, I would love to learn that stuff. But I figure I can get my own learnings out of it by going full bore Java and making an app for Glimish for Fire Stick, Amazon Fire Stick, and Roku. That's kind of the next big thing I want to do, because then I can be in my own, like I can go and do it in Java and just I can finally be in a place that I know a lot better. I'm not constantly questioning myself, and I would love to do that. I would love to add it to those devices because I have both of those. And then I was also looking at the Samsung Smart TV stuff, which I don't think I have a Smart TV, but I could probably buy a cheapo one. And that is that's interesting. It was like it has its own, like you don't write. I think it's all in JavaScript, and they have like this JavaScript thing that you write, and all their apps run via that or something. So. Huge drawback is subbing in the App Store takes a big cut. Yeah, Amazon. So I looked into the Amazon stuff. Amazon has the same restrictions that Google Play and the App Store have. So if you do in-app purchases, from what I read in their documentation, if you do in-app purchases, you have to use Amazon's framework. They won't let you just go off and do your own thing because they want to make sure that they can take their cut. And from what it said, from what I read, they either take a 30% cut or a 20% cut. And it wasn't clear which one applies, but it's Amazon, so it's probably 30%. Because they said, because for like the type of app that we would be, they had like two categories, and one was like, oh, you could either be at the 20% one or you could be at the 30% one, and I couldn't tell. It was very unclear which one we would actually fall in, but I would imagine it's probably the 30% one. So that kind of lends to an interesting question there, and that is like, if we were to allow subscriptions on something like Amazon, and they're taking 30%, that really hurts the Glimish cut. Like, you could make it so that the streamers still get their $3 out of it, which I think is the fairest way of doing it, but it would really eat into the Glimish cut. Like, the Glimish cut would be almost non-existent, right? And that's kind of the rough part of it, because, you know, you're still paying for network bandwidth and everything, and servers and all that stuff. So then the question becomes, what if you were to instead, if you did subscriptions on, and this is a big hypothetical, this is not something anyone's ever talked about, but if you did subscriptions on something like Amazon, what if the subscription was a multi-month subscription instead of 1 month, right? What if it was like, what if we only sold it as like a, I don't know, I'll throw out 3-month subscription? Then you could still, the streamer would still get their $9, but they would get it up front, right? And there would be enough left over that Glimish would still get a decent, you know, cut for the network bandwidth. Now, you know, it would be on every 3 months. The user would pay $15, but they get 3 months out of it. So it's not like, so it feels like a win-win for the user and for the streamer. Glimish still kind of gets boned a little bit, but not quite as much, you know? So it's like, it's one of those things. It would be an interesting conversation to have just from a business perspective, you know, like what makes sense if you were to ever do that. Now, normally when you go onto those sites, you just don't do the in-app purchases, and, you know, people, if they want to subscribe, they'll have to go on to the main website, or they'll have to go on to, you know, in their mobile browser to do it, you know, that kind of thing. Which kind of sucks from a user perspective, but it's understandable because it's a hard business question to answer, right? It's like, do you take that hit and hope that not enough people subscribe on mobile that you can't pay for your bandwidth, or do you try to do something hybrid? You know what I mean? Oh no, I know you can't link out to a mobile browser site, but what I meant by a mobile browser was your users could drop out of the app on their own and open up a mobile browser and log into the site on their own and do it. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I meant. The reason I mention this is because you like to purchase a Fire tablet for media consumption. Yeah, I have a Fire Stick, and it works pretty good. I haven't had any complaints, honestly. I don't use it that much, but I do use it, and it's works really well. Works really well. I don't know what you mean by we don't want to pull in Epic Games. You mean you don't want us to take a bigger cut from the streamers? Because Epic Games actually takes a smaller cut than Steam does. So I don't know. I don't know there. But yeah, I think in general it's like it's an interesting question to pose to, if we ever got to that point, to pose to the community, to see what answers you would get. 'Cause I feel like you could do it in a way that wouldn't bone over the streamers, but you know, you also still need to you also still need to keep the lights on, you know. So it's like, where do you land on that kind of thing? Oh, okay. You're talking about this. They're getting sued by, they got sued by Apple for the direct purchases. Yeah. No, I see what you mean now. Yeah. No, we definitely don't want to pull that because they'll ding us for that easily. They're always on the lookout for that kind of stuff, like, you know, pushing links in that lead you to, you know, t-shirt stores and all that other stuff. You know, yeah, we definitely don't want to go down that path, certainly. But at the same time, it would be nice to not exclude, you know, the mobile folks from being able to support streamers and all that. And then what do you do with donations and stuff? Because I mean, I think Glimmers just takes the fees from donations. They don't take anything else. And I guess if you're doing a donation through Amazon, then I guess we don't even deal with the fees then, because Amazon would pass the fees on to us, right? Because they don't take the fees themselves. They take a cut before fees. So I guess you're kind of screwed one way or the other there. So it would be the fees would come out of the streamer's cut, which I guess it already does. So I don't know, weird stuff. Allow streamers to enable mobile subs and accept a smaller cut. Yeah, I mean that's always an option too. I'd like to think that there's a way that we could not penalize the streamers for, you know, their viewers preferring mobile over the web. But yeah, it's a hard nut to crack, you know. Okay, so we get this. Yeah. What did I call this? There we go. Well, tenor gifts in chat. All right. So this will be interesting. So I brought down a where is that? Brought down a JavaScript library. I don't know where it's at now. Where do I have that open at? Well, that's not it. Did I close it? I guess I closed it. So I have brought down tenor.js here. But this isn't a UI thing. This is just a library for push your JavaScript to have JavaScript call out the tenor. I think it's still useful in that regard. But I still need to display the result and stuff in a way that, you know, works for us. So I think the first thing to do is to have we're gonna put a button down and a menu that comes out of it. So I think, what do we got for Bootstrap here? What can I do? I want a I want a. What do I want it to do? Yep. I don't want it to toast, but kind of a drop up, but it'll have images in it. I guess it's really a popover. Yeah. Yeah. Pop over. Or I can look at how does our emote picker do it right now? Status. Run this and if I can do something that's like as close to pure JavaScript as possible, that would be, or pure CSS as possible, that probably would be ideal right now. So I come over here. Channel. Do this. See, this kind of pops up a window here. Emoji picker. Wrapper. Oh, this is using Popper as well. Okay. But it's just a popover. Yeah. That's kind of what I figured. Okay. You really just need this as a component. And just put it on the page. And attach it to a button. Put it right in here, I guess. For now. Alright, so let's see. Go to Stream. Actually, it's not stream, it's chat menu. Well, I want to say that chat. Yeah, here we go. Message form. Here it is. So this is the form itself. The chat form. I'll just throw a button in here just for craps and giggles. Emoji selector. Not disabled. Okay. So we'll do not disabled, and this is actually going to be, yeah, I guess if not disabled, it'll be the same thing. So div id reaction gif selector button input group text if they'll do, else emoji activator. We'll just say reaction gif activator, just a pseudo class, and it'll be we need a font awesome, wrong browser, font awesome. Let's take this one. Far FA image. Okay. Image. Save that. Let's see what that looks like. Okay. Very good. All right. So now figure out the component stuff for that. So components. And I want, Gifs are going to be so yeah. But it actually looks fairly oh, unmuted. It actually looks fairly straightforward. The only problem is that I haven't found something that like our emoji picker was nice in that it already did the UI stuff for you. I haven't found anything that does the UI for Tenor, but that's the only part that's going to suck, is that I gotta kind of have to like slap something together. But the actual API looks straightforward. It's just I don't know whether the API key that I generated, like you have to, Google's back end for generating API keys and stuff is so freaking complicated. I have no idea if I generated the correct key for the correct API. So yes, the API is free. In fact, it's whatchamacallit. They even tell you, like, you can cache stuff from it, but they tell you they really don't want you to cache stuff from it. And it's, the throttling is like, I think you can do 1 per second is the throttle limit. So yeah, Tenor got bought by Google a couple years ago, so it's all in the Google ecosystem now. Yep. But I kind of like, I looked at Giphy, and I kind of like Tenor a little bit more, just for a first shot. Not that there's anything wrong with Giphy, but I feel like Tenor is a little more, since it's a Google thing, I feel like it might be a little more moderated, potentially. And it does seem a little bit cleaner as far as like API goes. So I figured it's a good starting point. And then if we want to do Giphy later, we can. The only caveat is that you have to put, if your search is powered by Tenor, you have to put like one of their logos on it. That's the only downfall. So it's like you have to do either you either have to say that you're powered by tenor in your thing, or for the search, I think it's like, yeah, for the search button, you have to put that in there or something. You gotta do one of these things. Yeah. Assume that would do that anyways. Yeah, I mean, I would put like text there anyway, but they insist on having like an image, like one of these SVGs or PNG images. So that's the only thing. I think it says it over here. Where's that? Yeah, if you either put powered by tenor on the browsing experience, search tenor as the placeholder text in the search bar, or via tenor in the footer of a shared GIF. So probably just do the powered by tenor one, since we can just kind of shove that on the menu. You know, and the only complication there is that if we do bring in Giphy or something, we'll have to figure out a way to say like this. They have a thing in here in their documentation that says like, if you're using tenor, you have to have this, but if you mix in your results, like you're not allowed to mix in the results from tenor and another service. And if you do have results from another service, you can't say it's powered by tenor, that kind of thing. So they're a little strict on that, but you know, probably come up with something. So, and I don't know what Giphy thinks about. I haven't looked at Giphy's terms about like whether they let you. I mean, I assume they don't want you to mix in their stuff with another service's stuff, but I also don't know if they require exclusivity or anything like that. Doesn't look like tenor does, from what I read, so we should be okay there. If I want to do a pop. Pop over. Yeah, toggle attribute. Upper tooltip plugin as dependency. RGutil.js. Zero length title and content values will never show a popover. Specify container body. Bring popovers on hidden elements will not work. Popovers for disabled elements must be triggered on a wrapper element. Okay. Popovers must be hidden before their corresponding elements have been removed from the DOM. Popovers can be triggered thanks to an element inside a shadow DOM. Okay. The container option. Yeah, they're just using jQuery for that. I think we have the jQuery library, so I can just probably... That's the only way I know how to trigger the popovers is through jQuery, so... Probably do that. Bold. Options, animation, container, content, template, trigger, hopper config. Okay. The one weird thing is going to be I guess it's not, I guess that'll be fine. Data toggles what we use generally. Yeah. I guess we'll have to see what happens here. I mean, I'll have the div on the page, but it won't have any data in it. So it'll pop up and then run the JavaScript to, I guess I could run a quick query to get the popular stuff back and populate it with that when you first come onto the page. Although, kind of wasteful to do that if you're never going to click on that button. Where's the thing at here? Yeah, like you can fetch the trending gifs. I can just say grab me 10 of the trending gifs, and then that'll just be the initial thing that pops up when you, like, it'll populate on the page before anyone's ever clicked the button. And I guess as long as I fill that in, I wonder if I can get that running as a background separate thread. Probably I can. Specific IDs. The other thing is, I'm wondering whether to... So my thoughts on putting this in the chat was that I would use the same parser that we have now, and where we have the colon GIF name or colon emote name, I would have colon tenor colon, and then I'm not sure whether to put the ID or whether to put the URL. Because it does have URLs here, but these URLs, I don't know if they're permanent links or if they are temporary. That's the weird thing. Yeah, they limit you to one query per second. Yep. According to their documentation. Chat token can have both the name and the... Yeah, that's what I was wondering, is like, should I put... Like, I don't know if these URLs are temporary or if they're permanent links. So, like, I'll have an ID, and I can go search and find that ID again. But I guess I could put both. I could put both the ID and the URL, and just try the URL first, and then if that fails, although I don't know how I would know if it failed. You have the ID there. I guess at the end of the day it doesn't really matter, because if you're displaying old chat stuff and these URLs don't work anymore, I guess it's whoop-de-doo at that point, right? Because I don't know if these are... Why did IDs always have to be an array? Just not a response. The API documentation. Search. Implement share events. Launching your search experience. Found from the best initial experiences, display a clean search bar followed by categories of gifs from the categories endpoint. and trending search terms from the trending search terms endpoint. Alternatively, trending Gifs from the trending Gifs endpoint could be displayed beneath search. I kind of figure it would be better. Use the locate parameter now. And autocomplete suggestions, that's fine. Search suggestions. Okay. Endpoints. So wait a minute. Response objects. If object. Create it. Tags, title, item URL. The full URL to view a post on Tenor. A short URL. Doesn't really tell me. I assume these are permanent links because it doesn't tell you otherwise. Example GIF. One per second seems low. All chatters across all channels. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, the worst that happens is they just send you a 429, right? HTTP 429. So, I mean, I don't know how many. You know, we could cache the results coming back, but I doubt that there's that many people using the same GIF over and over and over again. And even then, I don't know if there's enough people. I don't know that we could generate enough content, enough traffic for that to be an issue right now. But I'm trying to find, where's the, yeah, 429, rate limit exceeded. This is not expected on most API calls, but the client should try to support graceful failure and retry. Allow for a 30-second timeout if this condition is encountered. So, I mean, they say, they had another thing here. API terms. Permitted commercial uses. We're okay there. Prohibited commercial uses. You cannot use it for promotions or advertising. That's fine. General prohibitions. You will not modify or replace text images or other content of the search result. Change the order in which Tenor search results are presented. That's an important one. Intermix sources other than Tenor when attributing search results to Tenor search results. Modify, replace, disable links to Tenor. Promote or condone violence or incite hate. Promote, encourage, or support graphic or gratuitous violence. Display sexually explicit imagery. Okay. That's about it there. Hey, Techno Freak. Where is it? 30 in 30 seconds. Well, it's per API call, right? So it's one API call per second, I believe. I'm just trying to find where it said that at, because I'm pretty sure I read that. Where's the or API, go to API doc. What is that? Sorry, I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere. Enter throttling. Enter API throttle. Enter API. And here we go. Rate limits. Here's why I found rate limits and caching. Tenor API keys have a default rate limit of 1 API request per second. API requests made above the one request per second threshold will fail. Caching. You can cache Tenor's content URLs or API responses, reduce latency, and enhance the user experience. If your integration caches Tenor's content URLs, you must refresh the cache at least once every each 24 hours. Okay, so the URLs are temporary then. Okay. Your integration caches Tenor's API responses. We recommend you refresh the records frequently. Tenor's content ranking can adjust throughout the day. When you cache any Tenor content, please respect the cache control headers found in the response. So I probably have to grab both the ID and the URL because it sounds like the URL might only last for 24 hours and then changes probably. So it's buckets. Yeah, that's what it seems like. Or it's just everyone emails them and gets a higher limit. Probably. It's just API at tenor.com. I bet they probably just let you have a higher limit. If you need it. I mean, for me, I don't need a higher limit because I'm on a developer key, but maybe we would need one for production, depending on how popular it was. Because then you couldn't display top Tenor Gifs and have the user do a search right after. User searches would fail frequently then. You talking about the caching? Because the thing, and I think the reason they're saying don't cache the responses is because one of their terms of their API use is that you can't change the order in which things come back from their search, because they rank things that come back from the search. So if you're caching the results of that, then you might show it in the wrong order. So I think that's why they're saying don't cache the results there. User searches would fail frequently then for rate limits. Possibly. I mean, we are talking about one per second, right? If they type fast enough. Well, yeah. I mean, there is an autocomplete endpoint that might hit the rate limits. Potentially. I don't know. I suspect though. I mean, this is Google we're talking about. I suspect that rate limit probably applies to some of the endpoints, but not all of them. Like, I bet it applies to like maybe the search, but maybe not the autocomplete. And they just didn't feel like specifying that. You know what I mean? But across multiple channels too. Well, yeah. No, like I said, it can be a problem. But I don't know. I mean, it really depends on how much traffic we can generate, I think. And they say, I mean, they say if you get a 429 to wait 30 seconds. I don't know, What does I assume Tenor.js here handles a 429 coming back? That they don't really specify their error handling too much. Minimize number of media types. Is their schedule? Yeah, I don't know if they. I don't know if they say anything. What issue do they have? HTTP client deprecation warning. When was that opened? ROI 0180. January 25th. Okay. I mean, it looks like this is still being worked on because it's got fixes for V2 release 4 months ago. I hope this isn't like an abandoned project. V2 API. Changelog, here we go. First run, blah, 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 changelog. What's the other changelogs here? 105. There's input, start suggestions. Let's see if they mention anything here. Library restructure. Need of operations. More search. Yeah, they don't mention. They don't mention how they handle their errors here. That's going to be interesting. I guess I can look at their source code. I bet it's all JavaScript anyway. Sir. Oh, require method search find. Find. Oh, returns a promise. Okay. New filter. Manage API. If type of callback is function, callback error. If error. 200. The code is not 200. Do not send request as code. It just boldface fails if it doesn't get a 200. Which might be good and might not be. Pulls out an error object and then calls your callback with the error object. But put the put its own error code in there. That's fun. All right. So problem with that is you won't know if you got an error because it was a 429 or not, because they swallow up the error and just put their own error in there. Not a fan of that, but it is what it is. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it's just pass fail. So I would not fault somebody for just dropping in and just doing JavaScript straight up here rather than using a library, but I'm going to use this library just because I don't feel like writing all the JavaScript behind it, even though it is just pass fail. We'll just have to figure out. We'll just assume that if it fails that we'll have to try again, I guess. Alright. Anyway. I mean, it's Tenor does look limiting as far as our API is concerned, but we'll see what kind of problems that may bring with it. There's also, like, what is, if I could look at Gifs. Here we go. This one was, what was the API for this one? Developer thing here. An engineering blog. Developers, here we go. SDK. Hosting. So FAQ. An individual rate limited key by logging in developer portal. Creating an app. Please obtain separate keys for each installation if it's an Android or iOS. Verify your integration. Apply for production access. How do I upgrade my beta key? When you create an app, you'll receive a rate-limited beta key, which we advise you to use in development. These beta keys are rate-limited to a maximum of 42 search requests an hour and 1,000 search requests a day. Jesus. That's less of a rate limit and more of a complete stoppage. Okay. 42 search requests an hour and 1,000 per day for development. How do I upgrade my beta key to production? We'll ask you to provide a little bit more info about your app, and if it meets our criteria, we'll upgrade your app and work with you to make sure the integration is rock solid. Okay. I applied and was rejected. Provide you feedback on why your app didn't qualify. Your app may not need to make unlimited requests and will function just fine with rate limited beta key. Right. Iffy API, but I want to upgrade to a new SDK. We need a new API key as we service our SDK keys differently. There's an API and an SDK. So, okay. Gifs SDK. What is the SDK? Is it just a mobile SDK? Oh, here we go. Web SDK. React. Oh, fun. This React SDK consists of GIF, grid, and carousel components. It uses the Fetch API to fetch data. All React SDK components also support server-side rendition. Server-side rendition. Jesus Christ, they had to come up with a new name for an old concept. We can't call it server-side includes because that sounds old. We gotta call it server-side rendition because that sounds cooler. We can't call it CGI because that was what you used to do with Perl and stuff. We gotta call it something else. Oh God, the kids these days. The kids, I tell you. Here's a basic example of how to render gridded GIFs using grid component, the Fetch API, React DOM render. Oh wait, there's a JavaScript SDK though. Okay. Does this require React, or is this just bare bones JavaScript? What's the components? Okay, render grid. Well, this looks like it's straight JavaScript, so that's an improvement. Carousel. Render carousel. Video. Distribution overlay. Yeah, but like, you know, it would be really nice is if they actually had an example. Alright, I'll edit on code sandbox. Let's see what this says. Okay, so there's single GIF, carousel. That's one janky carousel. Okay, let's just throw an iframe in there. I'll call it a carousel. Grid. Yeah, but none of this is. Like, here's the problem with this. Who would use this? Like, it feels like I like the idea that they gave you an SDK, but like, seriously, who would use this? It's such a mess. It's like, here, we'll just throw this, we'll slap this together. This will be fine. It doesn't really get you, I mean, it doesn't get you any. I thought maybe the SDK would give you a better rate limit because, you know, it's their code, so you would think that they would have some confidence in their code, but apparently not. Apparently not. All right. My brain is starting to shut down. I think I need some food. I would have liked to get a little bit further in this, but at least the beginnings of it are coming into play here. So there's that, and I got enough here that I can kind of work with it, and really a lot of this is just going to be slapping together some sort of UI that looks halfway decent. I think once I get that, then we can start to look at like more, you know, like have the searching working and all that stuff, and then look at what the actual chat mechanics would be. But generally speaking, I think we're good. I think we're good here. And let me see. Let me see here. So yeah, I just have to write some tests, and we'll have the highlight new streamers thing done and ready to go. That'll be good. I've been keeping up with the comments on the ability to like comments thing, and so far so good on that. Everyone seems to be on board right now, and we'll see how that goes. And how's my Melvor Idol doing here? Are we still? Did we stop fishing? Oh no, we're still fishing. It just didn't look like we were fishing there. 3,300. Probably use some more. Open the treasure chests. Okay. Lots of junk. That's fine. Where's my... Oh, it's down here. I was looking at the wrong one. I'm like, why is this... So, the raw fanfish. Is there... Can I do anything more with them? Not for 10 levels, but... I can get the crab going here. That'll be the next one I upgrade to. Actually, is there the raw crab unlock? Not yet. Betting it's probably either level 70 or level 75. We're at 67. Okay. Oh, I wonder, can I buy that other fishing rod now? Because that was level 60, right? So, yeah, here we go. That'll help things a little bit. Yeah, now we're at like 91% fish with no junk, which is fantastic. Swordfish. Yeah, fish. Okay. And then I think yeah, let that continue going. But anyway, friends, we're gonna call it there. Let me close up shop here. And then tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. I'll be back to doing just the co-streaming stuff. So we have to back into doing the preview window. Well, not window, but the preview section. And then tighten up some of the workflow and some of the other pages that need some tender loving care and some bug fixes and things. And then I'll be doing a myriad things on my time off here. I guess I can admit that. Added button to chat. And let's get that going. Boom. Okay, that's all committed. What else we got going on here? Everything good here? I think everything is good here. Excellent. I need to shut down the database. Get out of there, and we're good for tonight, my friends. Thank you, everyone, so much for watching, for hanging out, for keeping me company, for asking questions, for giving suggestions, the whole 9 yards. I appreciate all of it. This is very much a community-driven thing, and I can always use the input and the feedback and the advice and the experience and everything else to help out, because we can make Limbish as good as we can all make it. Many brains are better than one brain. Let's put it that way. So thank you so much, everyone. As I said, I'll be back tomorrow afternoon, probably right around 1 Eastern again. We'll be doing back to the co-streaming stuff, and then that will conclude my streaming week. I'm off on Mondays as per usual. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at nighttime, we'll be back to just playing some games. Whatever random game I feel like playing. It might be a randomizer. It might be something else. We'll see. The next Friday night, we'll be back with more Small Feature Friday. Have a couple things on the list there to take a look at, including a turning chat off kind of thing, and a few other things that I want to look at. Hopefully between now and then, I'll have a chance to look at some more things to pull in for that. So there's that, and then and then next Saturday and Sunday we'll be back to doing this again, back to the old co-streaming train, as it were. So that is the story as I know it, my friends. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I hope everyone has an excellent morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on what it is for you, and hope to see you back here again in the future for some more stuff, whatever happens to suit your fancy. Until then, see you, bye.
This is the way.